So there's been a lot of angst in the last couple of days in regards to the Jace casting. The Wrap reported that Jamie Campbell Bower, Ed Spielers, and Lebo Freeman are the three frontrunners for the role of Jace Wayland. And it's kind of hard. It's been very tense these last couple days with so many people still on board for Alex Pettyfer and they still want him. But the thing with Alex, let's address this right away. The thing with Alex Pettyfer is they offered him the role of Jace 3 months ago, and Clint Culpepper, the president of Screen Gems, said I think about a month ago that they were still seeking after Pettyfer. They wanted him to play Jace, and Pettyfer confirmed that he even talked to Cassie, and they were talking about the role. So they were completely on board with Alex playing Jace. So that makes me think that Alex wasn't on board with it. He's had over 3 months to contemplate this, as well as some other roles that he was offered, including PETA in the Hunger Games, or he was offered to audition for that. But he's had over 3 months to consider the role, and I think they finally decided to move on. And I think one of the things that Mortal Instrument fans are wondering is why has the casting for Jace taken so long since they cast Lily back in December of 2010, and it's been about 5 months since then, and we should have our Jace by now. And one of the reasons I think that we can all assume that the Jace casting process has taken so long is because of Alex Pettyfer. And I'm not bashing him or anything, but I'm just saying that I think Jace casting is moving along faster now that it looks like Pettyfer is out of contention, not because that they don't want him, but because he doesn't want the role is what it's seeming like, because they have offered him this. He was their number one, and they put so much effort in getting him because they know how much the fans love him and they were listening to them. But I don't think that he was ready for this role, be it because there's going to be possibly 6 movies. At least, if the first one does well, we're guaranteed the first 3, and perhaps we'll make another 3. Maybe he's not ready for that kind of commitment. Maybe he was rethinking that. Maybe he has some other projects he's more excited about. But that's the whole thing with the Alex Pettyfer thing. I know there's a lot of fans are saying that they're going to boycott the movie because Alex isn't playing Jace. But I urge you not to do that. We all saw how this happened with Twilight and how everyone wanted, I forget who they wanted, but everyone was all game for one person to play Edward, and when he didn't, and when Rob Pattinson was cast, they hated him in the beginning. They were threatening boycott, and it looked like a hot mess. And then once they saw Rob as Edward and some photos and some video, the fandom surrounded him and they came to support him. So honestly, whoever is cast as Jace, I honestly believe the TMI fandom is going to embrace him wholeheartedly, and I think he's going to kick some butt. Getting into the 3 actors that are rumored to be frontrunners, let's look at Jamie Campbell Bower. In the last couple of days, actually, at first there was a hesitation about Bower and Jace, but I've seen a lot of people are starting to embrace him. I was watching The Prisoner last night, one of the mini series that he was in, and there was I could see some of Jace in him, not just looks wise, but with Bower, what you're getting with Bower that the other 2 do not have is some serious acting chops. And let's face it, whoever's going to be playing Jace, it's not all about the looks. It's about acting. Can he really sink his teeth? No pun intended, since he's in Twilight. Could Bower really sink his teeth into the role of Jace and really capture that essence of Jace? Not just the sarcastic, wit humor, but also the vulnerability that Jace has. I mean, go from one second cracking a joke to being vulnerable and then cracking another joke, and just to really capture who Jace is. And I ask you, Mortal Instruments fandom, would you rather have an actor who looks like Jace or one that captures the essence of Jace? Because let's face it, in Hollywood, you can change looks. You can change anything in looks, but you cannot change the essence of somebody. You cannot change someone's acting ability. So honestly, I think Bower definitely has the acting chops to take on Jace. And I mean, he has some of the looks as well. I could see a little bit of Jason him in some of those. Not the shaggy hair, from Sweeney Todd and all that, or in some of his other photos. But I mean, like I said, looks can be altered. Acting cannot be altered unless you go take some acting classes. The next candidate was Ed Spielers. You might know him from Aragon. To be fair, Aragon was several years ago. I think it was about 5 or 6 years ago. So don't try to. I've been hearing a lot that people are saying that Ed is too innocent and he doesn't have like that badass kind of personality that we know Jace has. But it has been a while since Aragon. He was like a young teenager then, and he was plucked, and placed into Hollywood. And we all know that franchise. The movie it sucked, but I really think that you take a look at looks wise. I can see Jace and some of Ed's looks. The only thing that I've seen of Ed is Aragon, and I don't really think you can judge him off that. But I've heard of some other stuff he's been in, and people say that his acting is pretty good. So, I'm not sure about Ed. I think he has the look. I don't know if he has that acting chops. I've seen Aragon, that's about it of his. But he was a good actor in that as well, but two different roles. I mean, it's not really fair to judge. And the last contender is Lebo Freeman. He's a newcomer. He's a model. And I actually found out he's from Florida, which is where I live, which is pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. But the thing with Lebo is he's got the look. He has got the look 100%. He's got that bad boy look down, and he's got that smirk in some of those photos you can see. He's got the body, as we've seen in some of those certain photos that I know some of you guys have seen. And there's no denying that he has the look. The one thing with him that everybody is so nervous about, and it's okay to be nervous about and to have concerns, is that he has no acting experience. And that is a little troubling. But like Lily Collins said in an interview, the exciting thing about this is that, she used to be a newcomer and someone took a chance on her, and now look at where this is going. She's becoming one of the it girls in Hollywood, and she has several amazing roles coming up. She was in Priest, which she was amazing. Very Clary-like, by the way. And she has Snow White coming up and Abduction. And so she was a newcomer at one point. Someone took a chance on her. So the thing with Lebo is if he's a good actor, if he can pull it off, if he can really get to the essence that is Jace, even though he hasn't acted before, you know, if he can play the role, then the producers will choose him and he'll be Jace. But the thing that we have to understand is that, we aren't watching, we're not seeing these tapes. We're not seeing the screen tests that they have with Lily. We're not seeing them acting. We're not seeing them, read a script, read a line, and really become this character. So the only thing we can do is trust Screen Gems, trust Scott Stewart, trust the producers, trust the casting staff. Just trust that they are going to find the absolute perfect Jace. Because let's face it, they have been working about 5 months on casting him. They are taking their time, which it's excruciating, I admit at times, because look at the Hunger Games. They all their casting kind of happened like really, really quickly, and we're all a little jealous. But Jace is. You need to get him right. That's why it's taking so long. That's why I'm glad that they are taking their time, because Jace is the kind of character that you need to get right. He's a big part of this series, a big part of this franchise, and they need to nail him, and they understand that. So all you need to do is just trust the studio. They know what they're doing. They've been doing this for a long time. They know what we're looking for. They understand the character. Lily is helping them, and Lily has been, asking for some fan support, some fan ideas and everything, and she's part of the process, and she's trying to make us a part of the process as well. But as far as the Jace casting goes, it's difficult to say, but be patient. Be patient, have faith, and trust, because I have a feeling that Jace is going to be cast in the next couple of weeks, especially if these three are the final three. But there's no confirmation that, that Jamie, Ed, or Lebo are the final three contenders. Those three read with Lily last Friday on the Sony lot. They read with them. They read with her. But that's not saying that those are the only actors that have read with her. So, all we can do is sit back and wait until some news comes by. Um, and I guess all we can do till then is sit, wait, and speculate because let's face it, we've been speculating on Jace for the last several months, and, we won't stop until we get him. And then even after that, that's part of the movie process.